Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Yeah, Democrats are being urged to drop the progressive rhetoric favored by their Karen white liberal women. But that's it. That's essentially what they told them. And they have a real problem with party leaders who continue to push that kind of stuff because they need to shift and maybe start focusing on everyday people. Here's a good way to do it. Reopen the government. I mean, that's it. That's a good way. I mean, that's a good way to do it. I mean, that would be a way to do it, right? Okay. Yeah. Some are suggesting a shift to broader appeal issues as opposed to hyper-focusing on whatever the liberal outrage of the day is. Did someone use the wrong pronouns? Well, we should make that our entire identity now, I tell you.
Number 6.
Read Freely Alabama is a liberal group filled with, ready? Karen, white, liberal women, right? Or white liberal women, not white liberal Karen women. Let's call it that. All right, let's do that. Anyway, now they're referring to a bunch of different groups, including most of you listening to this probably, including the Moms for Liberty, Clean Up Alabama, all sorts of other groups as the KKK, the White Councils, Bull Connor, Jim Crow, George Wallace. Good God, what is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? What is the crime here that all these groups are committing? They're saying, hey, could you stop all the sex stuff with our kids? Could you stop that, please? Yeah, this is a tried and true tactic which will surely work.
Number 5.
There is a chip shortage. We know about that. The President of the United States is trying to deal with that, but it will start affecting Alabama auto plants this week. 2 of those automakers are making moves in response to the chip shortage, and that will include having to deal with possibly pausing some production of vehicles. Yep, there's a real concern here. A chip maker announced it would no longer guarantee delivery of its chips, which are integral to auto production. And a Honda spokesman said the industry-wide semiconductor supply chain issue will make strategic adjustments to production necessary. That means lines will not be operating the way they're operating right now, and that will lead to a lot of people having some of their shifts cut. That's what they're concerned about. Some will have to use time off with pay. Some will have to take time off without pay. This is going to be a real issue here for some people.
Number 4.
Another fired Alabama professor who thought it would be a good idea to cheer on the death of Charlie Kirk continues her fight against both the University of Alabama and Auburn. She's saying that she's been stripped of her teaching duties because she refused to mourn the death of a known white supremacist. That's not really what happened here, but she's been defending herself and said this: if Charlie Kirk's voice can be heard and the whole world can hear the disparaging things he has to say, then the world should be able to hear what Auburn University and the University of Alabama did to me. They shot Charlie Kirk in the neck, right? And there are liberals out there dressing up as a shot Charlie Kirk for Halloween. This woman looks exactly like you think she looks, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Just a little piece of information.
Number 3.
Governor-elect, national championship winning United States Senator Coach Tommy Tuberville called Montgomery a war zone. And he says, basically, look, we are going to do all we can to fix this. He's calling for federal intervention to address the escalating crime and public safety concerns, adding, I've talked to FBI Director Kash Patel, and he's gearing up to send a surge of FBI agents to Montgomery to help law enforcement with crime. So that's happening. They're working on it. They're moving this thing forward. They're doing everything they can to try to deal with this issue because the locals are having a hard time or refusing to deal with those issues. And I think, yeah, that's what's happening. That's happening. Good job.
Number 2.
All right, you might be, quote, at risk of losing your SNAP benefits if you're on SNAP benefits. And when I say you might be at risk, let me tell you what that means. You're not going to have them anymore because if you get them, you're not getting them. Okay, the SNAP benefits for 750,000 Alabamians are at risk of running out. I don't even know if that's the right way to put it because they will be running out soon. Let me frame that correctly. The United States Senator Katie Britt is urging her colleagues to reopen the government in order to keep this from happening. She also tried to put forth a bill, or signed on, to a bill that said, you know what we should do? We should just fund this program. Why don't we just fund this program alone? And Democrats said, gross, we don't want to do that. Why would we do that? So they're trying to secure funding for it, blaming Democrats for their indifference, and they're trying to end the government shutdown to get this funded.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
And if you love the government shutdown, you're going to hate the American Federation of Government Employees because the largest union representing federal workers is urging Congress to pass a clean continuing resolution. They want Democrats to cave. That's right. They want Democrats to cave and give the Republicans exactly what they want. The thing they could have voted for weeks ago. So we're entering into about the 5th week here. And they're saying, hey, could you guys pass this continuing resolution? This has hurt us enough. It's a big blow to Democrats. It really is because they're losing support amongst their base. Their base is raising up and saying, hey, guys, could you just reopen the government, please? And Democrats are going to feel that. They're going to feel that. So you got federal employees telling Democrats, again, they're their base. Okay, they're their base. You know, they're the ones that go out and protest on their lunch breaks. They're the ones that show up in D.C. And scream about how Donald Trump is destroying their lives. They're the ones that are all mad about absolutely everything. And they're telling Democrats to, come on, abandon your position, cave to the Republicans, get on your knees, and give the Republicans exactly what they want. The pressure on Democrats continues to grow. The food stamp thing, big deal. Big deal. This federal government employee union, big deal. Big deal. And I'll tell you this, all you other federal government employees out there, you should be talking to your unions or your associations or whatever you want to call them, and you should have them put out similar statements. You should have them calling for the end of this too. That's how you get it. That's how this ends. And Democrats, you may notice something. All the pressure is going on. Where's the pressure on Republicans? It doesn't exist. There are no pressure points they can lean on Republicans for this. And that's why Democrats will eventually cave. The question is, how long does it take? And I guess we're going to find out. Could be today. Could be today. Probably won't be today, but it could be today. John Fetterman is speaking out publicly saying, look, we need to get this thing done. So I think there's a lot of discussion happening there on Capitol Hill. But we'll see where it all goes. Keep it locked right here on WVNN, and I will stay here with you, walking you through this entire thing. We never shut down. Unless I say something stupid, then I shut down for 2 weeks. Okay, we'll be right back.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.